Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
We are going to learn working with option sets and lookups, and also will see the JS debugging. Okay, so for that purpose, I'm going to create some new entities today to avoid confusion and clarity. So I'm going to create a new solution for my work today. Okay. Assume like I'm giving solution name as JavaScript debugging. You can give any name, right, for solutions. I'm choosing my publisher, creating. Now I want to create a tables, right, to work with custom tables, table with advanced properties. So here I'm just selecting country, standard type, organization, ownership, save. So similarly, I want to create one more table called state. So this is my second table. So you can use this same advanced properties only. This is also, I want to keep it organization. No, I don't want to own any. These are like a kind of master data, metadata entities, right? So I want to, no one will own it, right? This will be like system entity. These are needed for everyone. So now on the country, I want to have a lookup for the state, or on the state, I want to have a lookup for country. Okay. So let's create that lookup field as well. On the state table, I'm going to create one more column, that is with country. So what will happen whenever we create a lookup field in backend? What will happen whenever we're getting a lookup field between two tables?
Relationship.
Yes. So this is a lookup field. So it will be creating a relationship like n is to 1 between these two entities. Okay. Also on the state, I want to create one more field that is nothing but a like continent, let's assume. So for that one, I'm just creating the choice field, simple required. I don't have any global choice. I have to create it. So I'm just creating it. So like North America, South America. What else going to Europe? Next, what else we have? Africa, Asia. What other one? Australia. Okay, the default choice is done creating. So what I did on the state table, I created a country lookup field and one more is like continent. Okay, so you are asking, right? What do you mean by execution context? What do you mean by form context? So if you see, this is my form, right? Right now, I don't have any form libraries identity into it. So execution context is like a con- core concept which will give you the control of execution context. Within execution context, you will get the form context, right? The form context will give you whatever it's there on the form. But execution context can give you some additional capabilities, like it can get to the logged in user details, it can retrieve the other properties as well. But form context, it will retrieve only the fields which are there in the form. It won't do any other activity. So right now we have general tab is there, so it will give the general tab control. We have only one field on the name. So form context will work on only specific related to form, whereas execution context will give the complete everything in context. What we're in. So let's see that. So for that purpose, we just are going to create a new. Let me create solution from there itself, from solution to make it proper prefix. So now we are getting LUT. Earlier, when you are creating directly from the form, you are getting that CRIT, the default one. So you always try to have a solution aware components. So you will have proper prefix. Okay, choose file type. What is my file type? JavaScript, right? Have it. Name, you can name any name like. So usually how they will follow for each table you will create a one web resource. So this is my state table, right? So state JS or state JavaScript. Like that, we will create a single web resource for one entity like that. So here I'm just writing some dummy code. I'm not doing anything. So function. So like onload. What I need to pass for CRM to get the CRM context, execution context, right? Execution context. That's it. I'm not doing anything for now. Okay, just adding alert. Okay, save. So what I want to show you the difference between what we have in the form context, what is there in the execution context. Okay, so I just created a new web resource. I have to add it on my state form, right? So go to forms, go to main form. You can work on the quick forms as well. Form libraries, add library. What is my library? State JS, right? You can get it. Now to work on anything, you have to attach to event, right? So I'm just attaching to my event onload function. I just give an onload only, right? Pass execution context. So these are the basic configuration. So whenever I'm gonna whatever I'm gonna do, right? So that will I will keep in this onload. So you can have multiple functions within single onload. Like that we will do. I just created a web resource. I just added to the form, then added to the event. These are the basic things. So in the function, you have nothing right now. You are just calling it, you are just when it onload event, you are just calling alert. So now first assume you don't know whatever it's there in the plugin. So they ask you to test it, what's there, what happening whenever JavaScript is running like that, they want to test. So how do you test it? Either you have to come to this web resource, you have to see it. But if it is a normal thing in our practice, we are just saying like we are opening the simple alert. But in general, you will have a lots of code, right? Everything. So for that purpose, you can't understand by seeing the code, right? You have to try it and you have to see the errors, everything, right? So that concept we will call as a debugging. So debugging means whether it is a JavaScript or whether it is a plugin is some other language. What we will do, we will replicate the scenarios, we will navigate how code is working. Suppose if you have written alert, so when alert line is executing, what is happening? Like that we will see. Okay. Now we will see that. So for that purpose, what I'm doing, I'm just adding this state and country to my. I'm creating a new model-driven app to add my entities. Added. Okay. So you can name if you can name your group like metadata info. So these names you can give anything. I'll just give a metadata info. If you want to give some other name, you can give some other. Publish. My app name is census. So this is okay. So I'm done with. I'm just playing this app in my browser. So it will open like this. So these are the two entities which I've added, and this is the state. So on the state entity, I have the onload event, right? To test a onload event, either you have to open existing record or you have to create a new record. We don't have any existing record, so I'm just creating a new. So we are getting some error. You don't know what is happened like this. Okay, so now by seeing this, you are not getting much. Even you try to put it in ChatGPT, that is also assume it's not giving good results. So in such scenarios, what you will do, what you have to do in general, you have to debug the code or you have to see what they have written, why it is here. Sometimes it may be syntax error, sometimes it may be logical error. So we have to test it, right? So they're not possible from the event being called incorrectly inside your code like that. So there could be a number of reasons, but you are unable to figure out. Assume there are 200-300 lines of code, or 200-300 lines of code is there in that file, whatever the resource we seen. So to test that one, what we can do, right? So we can debug the code. Debugging means we will walk through the code by executing the line by line. Okay. So for that purpose, what we can do on this form, we use it to open developer tools, right? For refresh the cache. So similarly, we have to open that more tools, developer tools, then it will open the window like this. Okay. Here you will have the everything, whatever you are doing in the browser. Suppose if you click on this save. Okay. Here it is calling some events. Suppose if you click on, if you are giving some name, and you're calling 𝐶𝐶. So this will make a call to CRM. Okay, get clear form instance. It called get client metadata. See, it is calling entity record fetch. So it is, so whatever you do in the CRM, this will create a event in the network tab. So you can see the details, everything. So now we are unable to do anything on the UI. So you want to debug. So you are now like it is blocking with the what you call onload JavaScript function. So you want to debug it. So for that purpose, right now you are in the network log where you can see the all network, incoming networks, outgoing networks. But if you go to source, okay, you have these three dots. So here you can find the open file. So what is my web resource file name? State, right? So you have it. So every web resource, whatever you are writing there, that will appear here. Onload execution context. Both are spelling correct only. Now I want to see I want to debug it, right? What is happening behind the scene? How it, how, okay. Now for that purpose, what we can do, we can put the breakpoints. So whenever you click on this one, it will create a breakpoints. Okay, like this, you can create a breakpoints. So what does it mean? The execution will stop here. It will wait for your approval. Unless you are clicking to continue, it won't go further. Okay. So this is my now I have kept onload event. Now I will do the same activity. I will do the refresh. So now if you see earlier we are getting directly paused in debugger, go to next step or continue. Like that we will ask the options. Similarly, if you come here, we have one line of code only here. It's not executing. It is waiting for your control what you want to do. So if you see here, you have pause option, you have go to next option, so step over like that. You can do it with F11, F10 commands as well. Okay. F10 means it will continue. F11 means it will go inside. Now if you see, this is my execution context. In the execution context, what you have form context, you have shared world info, you have event args, you have event source, everything you have. So form context will give you whatever it's there on the form. So right now I have only one field on the form and one field on the tab, right? So form context will hold specific info control to the tab only, whereas execution context will hold the complete information about this entire event CRM execution. Okay. Now if you see here, if you see form context, if you expand this one, you are having entity name, entity reference, and everything you are getting, right? And if you see in the within form context, you are having global context. The global context, you have some more info like about logged in user, everything. Get client URL means what is the CRM URL you are using. So what is my CRM URL? So everything you will have this information here. Similarly, current app name, you will have it here in the here. So like that. So if you expand the execution context in the event arcs, you will have some more detail in holistic info, not to the basic form selector, time, entity name, context token, client IP, like this. Okay. So execution context will have the complete information about the entire CRM execution, whatever you are doing in the UI. Form context will contains only the info which is there on the form. Okay. So now we are getting error. Now just to do so till it's you have put breakpoint here in the fourth line. So far we didn't get any error in the UI. So it's normal. So when I'm doing F10, so to F10 means you are playing it, you are going to the next step. So I'm doing step over. So you got an error. So whenever you got an error, it will be get like this. It will go to some other file. If you go to console, you will have the error also. You can click on, you can go back to here, source. You got some error, the same error will be appearing here. Here also you got error. So right now, this why it is failing, because on load I shouldn't use it in the alert. That is the issue. So like that we will debug. Now to help further, we will modify our state form. We will add the new fields creator whichever we created. Then we will work. Okay. Understood what is mean by execution, what is mean by form at a high level. We will do 2-3 times the same activity. You will understand more. So country, continent. Okay, now I just made changes, right? So I will refresh my form. So again, you see, as you're in developer tools, you open this dev tools now. So every time, whenever you do that activity and you have the breakpoint, it won't execute complete. It will come here and it will stop. Okay. So I am getting this error fine. Now it's not refreshed yet. So I will do the cache reload. Okay. Execution. Now it is added continent and country. Now let's create some countries for now. So this is okay. Similarly, you can create some country in from other continent. I'm just randomly creating South Africa. I'm creating China. China is already there, right? So I have to create one country for Europe. Switzerland. Okay. So I'm for South America, I'm creating Brazil. So you can create any entities, any kind of records here. Okay. Now when I did this, what will happen when I open this lookup, it will give the whatever the entities I have available to choose. So right, let's go back to our web resource form library. So we have written something wrong. So this is saying like the execution context usually occurs in the JavaScript function parameter, but you add the not password from the building being called from incorrect inside your code. So we know like we have calling directly from for the alert method, that is wrong. So I will so to give more info to ChatGPT, I will just put it. I will put this is so this is my function in JS library. Because you are treating execution context as function, current code. So execution context is an object, not a function. So this line will fail. So if you see like this, they are suggesting some other way to show alert. So I can do the changes. Also, what I will do? Also, I added the country lookup on the right. So I want to get value for country. Okay. So for that purpose, what I want to do, get lookup field value, and field name is, so we need to work with schema name, right? So I am giving the schema name as well with this tool. So it will give some line field value. So what it is giving, see, give me code, give me code snippet. So you didn't mention code snippet, that's why I didn't give. So country lookup, like this we have to, I'm just copy pasting for now, I'm not doing anything. So I'm doing this from context as well, putting this under same function. I am writing the dot logic as well. Okay. So save and publish. I'm using the same event now. I'm not doing anything change in the save event. Let's assume I fixed something. So I want to test it again. So to test it again, what you have to do, you have to publish your form. You have to make your save changes, and you have to do the hot refresh to load the latest changes. So now also you will get a breakpoint. Now I will do the, it's, if you see earlier you have this function, you updated it, still it's not loaded. So you need to do one more hard reload. So because sometimes it won't, every time it's not reflecting it. So you need to close, you have to do a publish again, like that sometimes. Okay. So I just closed out my developer tools tab to reflect my latest changes. I will do the hard reload one more time. Dev tools. Execution context is received. This is the new method, right? If you go here, sources, look for your state JS. See, this code also will be updated. Let it load. LUT state JavaScript. Okay. See, form context. You are just doing console log. Console log means it will appear here. Okay. To test further, we can do reload again. You will understand. Execution context is saved. Here also it will come. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to debug, right? So now what I have to do to debug, we have to go to source, we have to go to your file, LUIT, click on it, select this. Okay. Now if you do reload, what happen? It will execute and it will have again here. Again, if you see, it is getting the, we just put the breakpoint at the form context. So this alert is already executed and waiting here. Now if you see, I said, right, we can execute by line, or we can go. So for that purpose, if you see, step into next function call. This is not a next function. So I'm giving step over F10. So you are getting form context. In the form context, you have the entity name, entity reference, everything you will have. Now if we go further, you will have the form context, right? So in the form context, you will have all the attributes, everything. So I'm just adding I'm just trying to fix the liability count, right? So you can do one more F10. You can put breakpoint here. You can do one more F10 from here. So it executed the next line. If you hover on the control lookup, you don't have anything here for this record because you haven't selected anything here. So that is, it is coming null. Suppose if you have any table, you will get that values. Okay, let's test that. So I'm just clicking on the continue to complete the flow. There is no error now. Now I'm choosing India. Okay, I'm giving some proper name to here. Doing reload. So it will hit the my breakpoint. It will stop until my consent to execute. I'm just doing this step over 10. Now if I earlier we don't have any country, but here I want to, I have country in my form. So see what will happen. So country lookup. You are getting country details. What is the entity type? Means lookup. What is the entity lookup name? It's a country, right? And what is the ID? GUID, because it's other entity, right? So it will have a GUID. And what is that name? So like this. So for lookup fields, you will get the information like that. Suppose if it is a normal plain text or boolean, you will get the simple values. Okay. So for lookup, whenever you are fetching lookup means it will give you the what is the table name, what is the name of that record, and what is the GUID. To update also same way to set value, you have to pass three. You have to give the target name, target entity name, GUID of that record, name of that record. Okay. So now this is how we will pull the lookups. So let's add test also to show further. Okay. I'm going back to web resource. So I want to retrieve the state name as well. So for that one, how do you retrieve single line of text state? You have to use get attribute to same thing. You have to do the same get value. So I'm just copying this and put it in here in the okay. So let's assume, let's see what will return for the state name. So what is my schema name for this name field? LUT name. So you have to update it here. LUT name like state name. So usually we will follow camel case like this first letter. Every word in the this variables or anything we will keep a small letter. Then we will keep the name. This we will call as a Pascal case. Okay. So state is save and publish. I'm not doing any operation. I'm just fetching the details only. Okay. Now done, right? So I will do one more save and publish. I have to refresh this changes. I'm closing this tab, DevTools tab. I'm doing hard refresh, developer tools, open hard refresh, existing context is resumed. Still it's not updated, right? If you see, so it will take some time for it won't happen in 1 or 2. So you need to make sure sometimes you have to do the update from the solution even instead of model driven app. Okay, I'm just doing publish all customizations. Let's wait for its completion. Meanwhile, let me give you one more scenario. So I have state and country, right? So in the country, I want to keep continent field. So based upon the country selection, I want to fill the state. I don't want to fill this state manually. So I want for the state we have continent, right? So I don't want to fill this state continent manually from here. So based upon the country selected, I want to fill the continent on the state. So for that purpose, let's have same field on the country also. So let's create that. It's done, right? So let me do a refresh. Empty cache hot reload. Now if you go back to state here, LUT, is it not? You're on the countries. So now if you see, you're on the countries entity, you're trying to look for your state GS. It won't work because basically how does it works on whatever table you have, it will retrieve those sources only. You are on the country table right now. You are trying to look for state. It won't appear. So to appear state related JavaScript, state related functions, you have to be on the state related entity, and then you have to retrieve. Now if it is state, this is appearing, getting. So now you have the state name also. I'm just putting a breakpoint here, putting a breakpoint here. So now if you see, if you do reload, it will execute context received. If I do F10, or you can do it from here, state name you are getting. So as it is a plain text, you are getting directly the value. But if you look for country lookup, are you getting directly the value? You are getting some object. In that object, you are having entity type, ID, name. To get the India name, you have to do a within this country lookup array. You have first record, then you have the entity. So you have to retrieve the each object within this. So let me show how we will be doing. So go back to web resource, state.js. So I want to show alert for name, state name, the country name. Okay. So let's put like this, your selected country. So now I want to append this value dynamically because for each record it has to full one, right? So country lookup. So while debugging, what you have seen, so if you see, you have zero, you have first array. So first for how do you write arrays? We will give that square brackets and zero, right? Or you can directly get this from ChatGPT also. Then after this array, what you are having, ID, entity type, name, right? So I have to write name dot name to fill it. So suppose if you don't feel like I'm not sure what should I do everything, you can ask simply here. So if you see get lookup value, get country lookup name, same thing they are doing, right? So alert country name. So otherwise you can directly copy paste this function as well. Not a problem. Like that we will, you know what you have to, what's your requirement basically. So country lookup already you fetched, so I'm just removing the duplicate. You are just checking the condition is null or not. Country lookup if true, if it has values only, it will go inside state. I'm doing publish. I will do whole publish as well. Publish all customers succeeded. Now I will do a refresh. Empty cache hard reload. See country says India. So if you want to see what is there in the code, what we have written, you have to go to resource. You can pin also. Instead of every time selecting, you can mark it pin, I guess. Do you have pin? Open a new tab, copy file, link, close tabs. Okay. We can't debug with AI. Start a chart. This is new. I never tried. Okay. So I'm just putting breakpoint here, doing reload. So it will open here. Directly control will come here. You can do step over, country lookup. Here you have the info. If you do one more step over, it will go inside. Country lookup has this info. If you do one more execution, you will get the country name specific India. In the last line, it is showing the alert, right? So alert will show in the form, not here. Okay. So like that, we can debug the code, whatever we have written. We can cross check the values, whether they are coming as per the requirement or not. So this is about pulling the get value for lookup reference. Suppose if you want to update the same thing, you have to pass these three values: entity name, GID, record name. Okay. Now let's go back to our country. We were discussing whenever I choose that particular country, the state on this, it has to be loaded like that. I want to write a logic. Okay. So for that purpose, I will be creating one more field on the country table. So that is also will have same options as state. Okay. There is nothing but a continent, lookup, choice, no. So I have given North America, I have given South America, then I have given Asia, Europe, what else we have? Australia. And three, we missed something. What is the other ones? North America. Earlier we got seven, right? That's fine. So I'm just choosing. I have to add this on the form, right? So I'm going back to form. Okay, I'm gonna add continent here. Just drag and drop. My form is unresponsive. Let me do save and publish. Drag and drop. Why it's not working? So I'm just doing refresh due to some issue. I'm unable to select the form. I have to unable to edit it. So I'm just reloading the form. It's not uploaded. Let me close this. Oh, it's not responding. For components, it is showing form fields. Let me do a refresh. You don't have any library. Why form is not loading? I'm going back to my solution. Opening it. Columns. Country table. Forms. Main form. Now it is opened. I'm just choosing this section. Okay. Okay, section is adding, but I want to add field. Okay, now add save and publish. This is option set, so you have values here. So what is my requirement? I whenever I choose country, I want to set continent based upon the country's continent, not directly. Okay. So for that purpose, I created the same field on the Brazil on the countries as well. Okay. Let's do a refresh. Control F5. It's not loaded, so I will use dev tools. Empty cache. How to we have to maybe publish it. Now we got the continent. So it's for this Brazil is a South America. Okay. So also you have India here. So India is in Asia, right? So whenever I have selected chosen country as India here in this, I want to set this continent automatically. I don't want to fill it manually. So for that purpose, what I will do to avoid manual filling, I have to log this field first thing. Then I have to write a code on selection of country. This content has to be load automatically. Okay. So let's give the same scenario to ChatGPT only. I don't want you guys to trouble. So what is my app? So I will just give the schema names of country and state to work effectively. So put it logical names. So take a snippet. Brazil. I'm adding a file here. So similarly, I will go to state. I will add the. So you can. I'm removing the breakpoint because it is hitting always. Okay. I'm give the schema names of this table as well. With screenshots. You can do copy paste as well, but I'm just giving screenshots to make it quick. I'm just added so country and it has relationship as given in the images. Need a code snippet for populating continent automatically on state whenever we user choose the country. Continent well should pull from should come from continent value should come from country table, country entity. So I just given the my entities table name continent, value to name country lookup. When a user selects a country in the country, automatically populate the country state from which country. Register on change event of the country country, populate continent. So they are getting platform context, they are getting country value, get value. They are doing one more get record to record call. Okay, then function, they are setting the value, result continent. I've just copied paste this entire function to my library. So we will debug it and we will understand what is there, what is there. So let's go back to state web resource. So I will keep that existing function as it is. I'm going to add one more function to the same library and just appending it in the end. Okay, doing save, publish. I just did the publish all customization. No, I will do a refresh. Meanwhile, I will do hard refresh. You don't get the changes yet. Publish all customization again. Done. I'm doing refresh. So if you go here, you got the code. I'll do one more refresh. If I go here, I have to add it, right? LUT JavaScript. It's not loaded. So I will put a breakpoint to see my file changes. See, here we have populate content. But populate content, I added the function, but I didn't add the event, right? So it won't do anything now. I will just show you. I will put a breakpoint. It won't come here because you have an event for unload. This function is not there. You mentioned, but are you mentioning anywhere? It has only one match. You just defined it. You haven't binded it, so it won't do anything. So on refreshing of this page, it will come. It will execute till here. It will go. It won't come here because you didn't mention in this R. You didn't create a new event. So for that purpose, I have to create an event for my function. So state. So this time I will instead of onload event, I'm gonna use the on change event for field information. So whenever I change country, I want to trigger this my logic. Today it's rendering very late. Usually it won't take that much time. Info. Let it load. So I want to make it on this field change, right? So I will keep it on country. Click on this country. It's on main form only. Wait. Mhm. Otherwise, you can timing and we'll just add to the same event here. So what's the function name? Populate, right? Populate continent to avoid time. So I'm just adding the same event on the onload, passing the execution account is doing the same thing. So it is it's in the same library, so it will work. So usually my expectation is whenever I change country, it has to be triggered. But this form taking too much time today. Going back to solution. Let me publish in my solution as well once to get my changes. Publish on customizations. Do a refresh meanwhile. More tools, developer tools. Done. Mixing context. This will execute. I'm putting breakpoint here as well. So first function you have this one, this will execute. Then it will execute the other one. Okay. Then control will come to here. It has to. It's not coming means it's not updated it. Let me do refresh empty cache hard reload. Continue. Okay. Now if you see control came here. Now if you see here, if you do F10, here you will have a similar kind of experience. Country lookup. You are getting the country value first. So it's a country is another table, right? We are getting retrieve record. We will see this more in detail tomorrow. Basically we are passing the GAD. So because in the GAD only we have the values, right? So you are calling to another entity. What is this? Where is my function? Now if you see continent, you have value. Now you are getting same value, form context, get attribute, set value. You are setting it. So Africa is setting. Why it is setting Africa? Because you created two independent choices. So basically, whenever you want to have the same options in both entity, what you need to do, you have to create a global choice. But you created a individual choice on the country that is having own values, and you created a same continent on the other table that is with a different values, right? So these values are not matching. So to avoid the situation, what we will do, we will create a global options. So like here, more choice. If you create a global option, this will work as a content, work as a global. So you can use it across all entities. You will have the same schema for all. What happened? Number across all tables. Okay. So the same value it will appear in all places if you use like this global. So I just want to tell the intention behind global option and normal option as well. That's why I just gave rank. Okay. So let's continue tomorrow. So this is how we will get the values, option set values, lookup values. We will do the debugging. Okay. Try it on every code. Even it is working, try to debug it, execute line by line. You will understand how flow is your code flow is going. Okay.